Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello, welcome to Politically Correct. In this episode, we will discuss what's happening in Kashmir today and why the centre needs to revisit its policy vis-a-vis Kashmiri parties, and why national parties must put aside their political interest for national interest. But before we come to that, let me first start with an appeal. If you like our kind of journalism, please subscribe to The Print. Discerning readers and viewers like you need to support good journalism. And for that to happen, you must pay for what you see or what you read. So please subscribe to The Print. Go to our website, theprint.in, and we have given all the links for our viewers outside as also in India. So please subscribe to us. Coming to the main point, what's happening in Kashmir today? Now you have all the major leaders of Kashmiri parties out of detention. The last one was Mehbooba Mufti, the leader of the People's Democratic Party, who was released on October the 13th. What has happened since then? You suddenly see an effort by all the Kashmiri parties to come together and start demanding the restoration of Article 370, or as it was before August 5, 2019, when the Parliament ratified the revocation of the special status for Jammu and Kashmir. So 6 parties, including the National Conference of Abdullahs, the PDP of Mehbooba Mufti, the CPIM, and 3 other local parties, they met last week and they have formed People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. Now this front, the PAGD, that is going to launch a program, and that is going to keep pressure on the centre to restore what was there for Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 before August the 5th last year. But as a matter of fact, the PAGD is less about Article 370 and more about the survival of those parties. Now look at this, what is happening on the ground? Both the NC and the PDP, the main parties in the valley, they have totally lost their ground. Now you did not see any celebrations happening when Mehbooba Mufti was released or Farooq Abdullah was released. Similarly, you did not see a single protest on the streets of Srinagar or elsewhere in the valley when they were detained, because they have totally lost their grounds. They have lost their credibility among the people. So what these parties are doing by forming this PAGD is to try to tap into Kashmiris' anger, resentment, frustration, or whatever be the feeling after the revocation of the erstwhile states' special status. Now PAGD also knows, and all the leaders and constituent parties which are part of the PAGD, they are very much aware that this is not going to happen. Their main demand for restoration of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir is not going to be met. Forget about the BJP. We're not talking about the BJP because BJP implemented it. It has been part of the BJP's manifesto. It's been part of the BJP's ideological agenda to scrap the special status. So there's, no way that current dispensation is going to consider this demand at all. But even otherwise, just suppose if the Congress were to come to power at the centre at some point of time in future, even then there is no way that the Congress is going to do that. Now look at what the Congress has done. The Congress criticized the government, attacked the government for the way it went about scrapping the special status. It was about the methods. But the Congress has never demanded that Article 370 should be restored. They have never been categorical about it. And fact is, the Congress or the BJP or any other formation that comes to power at the centre anytime in future is not going to meet that demand. And the PAGD is very much aware of that. So as I said, and I repeat, the PAGD is a formation for the survival of these Kashmiri parties, especially the PDP and the NC, which are actually floating there, which are actually on the fringes of the Kashmir's political discourse today. So by putting that as their agenda, they are trying to revive their lost base. But outside Kashmir, what is happening? Now, Article 370, or the nullification of Article 370, has become an election issue. In election after August 5th, you have been hearing political parties talking about it, especially the BJP. In Bihar election, for instance, the BJP has been on the back foot given strong anti-incumbency against Nitish Kumar. So suddenly what do you see? First of all, it was Union Minister Nityanand Rai who started this entire thing. Well, if you get RJD, if you vote for RJD and RJD comes to power, you will have Kashmiri terrorists coming to Bihar. After that, you had Prime Minister Narendra Modi going there and declaring that, well, whatever has been done to Article 370 will not be done. Well, everybody knows this. You don't have to repeat it time and again. But then just by, bringing this topic again and again in election or during the campaign, the idea is to basically, turn the debate, even in assembly elections, around national security, about the BJP's credentials as a nationalist party. And similarly, other parties too. They start criticizing the BJP or the government at the center on this score, the way they went about scrapping their special status. Now, whether they are trying to woo the minority committee through that, or they really have any conviction in it, is a big point of debate. Because if you look at Congress leaders' statement, they have expressed reservation about the way the Article 370 was nullified. But then when the Gupkar declaration was being planned, or the PAGD was being formed, the Congress was nowhere there. The Congress has skipped both meetings of the PAGD. So there is a crisis of conviction. Congress doesn't know, it wants to talk about it because it wants to address a particular constituency, but there is no conviction as such, and that's why you don't really see Congress talking about the restoration of Article 370. My point here is, be it the BJP or the Congress, for whatever reasons they are taking their stand, what is happening is what you see as part of your election rhetoric has a strong resonance on the ground in Kashmir. Now, there is palpable anger and frustration in Kashmir. People are yet to come to terms with the changed reality. Now, not many people are convinced, even among Kashmiris, that there is going to be, or the center is going to go back on this or to restore Article 370 as it was before August 5. Nobody is convinced. But there is frustration, anger, and there is need to actually reach out to them. This outreach has to happen from the center, from the political parties. But then somehow you do not have anybody on the ground. You need somebody or some entity in between to actually make that outreach. And what is happening, for political purposes you may say, that there is a constant attempt to discredit Kashmiri parties, especially the NC and the PDP and their leaders. So you hear a lot of talk about how these leaders are dynasts and how they could not deliver anything to Kashmiris, so they have to look beyond. Actually, 2 days after Parliament ratified the revocation of the special status, the Prime Minister had addressed the nation, in which he had said that, the youth have to come forward and take charge now, because the traditional parties had failed to deliver. Fine, I mean, if that is the approach, there is nothing wrong about it. And BJP has been pursuing that. And that's why you see, you had this Block Development Council election, and the PM had hailed it because there was 98% turnout. But the fact was, the Electoral College comprised just panchayats and sub-panchayats, just about 26,500 or something. Now, it's not about direct elections. So, to assume that people have kind of reconciled themselves to the new reality and have started coming out and voting would be a bit dicey right now. Now, what the government has done, now it has amended the relevant rules there, and now it's going to hold elections for district development councils. Now, that will be a direct election. And again, the idea is, just as you had this idea of the possible emergence of a new generation of leadership or political leadership in Kashmir through BDC polls, now again, the idea is that probably DDC polls will throw up a new crop of leaders. But then again, you know how difficult it is. Suddenly, new leaders do not just spring from the ground just overnight. It takes years and decades. Do we have that much time for that? No. Now, even if Kashmiris know in their heart of heart that the center is not going to restore that special status, and it's in their interest to be part of New India, New Kashmir, where there is no talk of, there are no friction points like Article 370 or special status or any privileges. If they have to look beyond, the center has to go and convince them. And there you need mediators. And that's why my take is, you actually, instead of discrediting and maligning the PDP or NCP leadership, probably the center needs to actually somehow engage with them, because they have to be our allies. They have to be the center's allies in actually making that outreach. Now, PDP, NC, they may look like thoroughly discredited today. In fact, in the 2019 Lok Sabha election, together their combined vote share was just about 10%. So together they got just about 4 lakh votes. But then go back, in 2014, the same parties had got the public trust. And before that also, in 2008 and 2014 elections, the voter turnout in the valley was 52% and 56%. Now that was the highest, in fact. If you look at the pre-militancy days, the election just before the militancy began in 1987, the turnout in the valley was 77%. After militancy began, you had this 1989 election where the turnout came down to 3.4%. So there was actually no participation by the people. But gradually over the years, you saw the people starting to participate, and that's how it came to 52% and 56% or 57% in 2008 and 2014 assembly elections. So not that the PDP and NC do not have a base. They might have become very unpopular by 2019 Lok Sabha elections. And of course, the BJP was instrumental in it, because the BJP's alliance with the PDP did not really work out. And that led to a lot of disenchantment on the ground, not just with the BJP, but also with the PDP and the regional parties, which from time to time had been allying with the BJP at the center, the BJP and the Congress as well. So my point here is, if you keep discrediting them, you're not gaining anything. Actually, you're pushing all these Kashmiri parties more towards the fringes. So sooner or later, you would actually hear these parties talking more and more aggressively and going towards the fringes, where they would like to be seen as so totally anti-BJP that people start relying trust in them. And that's why you heard Farooq Abdullah saying last week that this PAGD is not anti-national, it's anti-BJP. Now, I'm not talking about the ideological differences between the BJP and those parties. But thing here is, by slamming the BJP, the Kashmiri parties look to have or to regain some kind of legitimacy in people's eyes. And it works equally well for the national parties too. Now you heard what Mehbooba Mufti said there. Now, if you remember in the first press conference last week, he had brought Kashmiri flag and said that until this flag is restored, she will not hold the national flag, the tricolor. That has become an issue in Bihar elections now. Probably it suits both. It suits the BJP in Bihar or in any other election, and it suits those Kashmiri parties to be slammed by the BJP. But it does not work for national interest, because somewhere you have to start thinking about winning trust of the people, applying balm on whatever their hurt pride is or injured pride. You have to reach out to them, and you need those Kashmiri parties to work with you, work with the center for this. And that's why the center needs to have a relook at its Kashmir policy, especially vis-a-vis the Kashmiri mainstream political parties which find themselves on the fringes today. And the starting point for that has to be a complete stop to all the provocative speeches that you hear in elections from our national leaders about Article 370, about Kashmiri parties. Just keep that off your campaign theme. Let's wait and see how, over a period of time, people will start accepting these realities, whatever has happened on August 5th, and they would like to move on. But then the politicians, they will have to help them, they have to give a helping hand in looking beyond that special status. It will not happen as long as we keep talking about this and thumping our chest about what we did on August the 5th. Thank you.